going on?
How much? I feel like we had to do like a semi-emergency Knicks podcast, see where how we're feeling, where we're at with everything.
Yeah, it's tense to say the least, at least on my end.
All right,
So,
so recap like game one, what happened and what you felt after, what you felt before game one, and then what you felt after game one.
coming out of the Celtics series, that I thought we had no business winning. I'm like, this is a team we should beat. We're better than them. We're deep, better, more experienced. We're bigger, better on the boards. And I don't like that because it was the same way against the Pistons, where it was like, this is a series we should win, and we struggled. So going into game one, having that lead, I'm like, oh, this is we're gonna blow them out. It's gonna be 4-1, gentleman sweep, done. And then the worst collapse in NBA playoff history happens, and I'm instantly like, we're getting swept. you know. And then
Yeah.
game two, we fought, just couldn't close. So going into last night, I'm like, this is going to be, if we lost that game, it was a sweep. Depending on how we won it, I'm still not confident. And Desiree, my wife, always says that I'm just negative on my teams. Like, I always expect the worst, but I'm realistic. I thought Boston was a better team, and I think we're a better team. But if we don't get game four,
It's a must.
it's done in six. Because there's no way they're coming in and winning game five on
If
our floor.
if they lose tomorrow, Tuesday, it's 3-1. They'll probably win in New York,
Knicks will win in New York.
lose in Indiana 4-2.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so I felt the same, like definitely like the struggle with Detroit was more than, I don't know if I felt more. I feel like the East Coast, like Eastern Conference, gritty teams are always going to be gritty. It's like the Pistons, the Knicks, the Pacers, like these are all like the Celtics, these are all like pretty physical, historic teams that even if they're not the best, they're going to show up more for those type of series. So they struggled with Detroit a bit, but they got through it. Then I agree not shouldn't have, but I didn't see them beating Boston. But then they do, and a fairly healthy Boston. Like Tatum got hurt, but like
Towards the end, yeah.
fairly healthy. Not like not like the Knicks were last year versus the Pacers, where they were just all broken.
Right.
So then you get to this one, and I thought it was going to be a relative, like, okay, Knicks are going through. And then that's how the game played out for almost an hour
Yeah.
of play until the last 5 to 10 minutes of fourth quarter. It started shifting, but it really only started shifting in the last 3 minutes when Bum
Yeah.
just kept hitting
Naismith
threes.
went insane.
Yeah. Neesmith,
Made threes that nobody's gonna make.
he was just throwing up shots. It wasn't even like, good passing, good transition, and then got the open shot. He was just throwing up shots, and then everything was going in. It was kind of like, what the heck is going on?
Well, the comparison that I put it to, and as someone who used to be a football fan of the Seattle Seahawks,
Yeah.
all I'm thinking about, I'm like, this is Packers Seahawks NFC Championship game.
Oh,
Like,
I remember. Yeah.
everything that could go wrong for us went wrong, and everything that could possibly have bounced right for the Seahawks in that moment did.
So
And that
in
was
that game,
exactly what happened
yeah.
in that game.
So in
And
that game, you're
it was
like,
flashbacks for me.
yeah. In that game, you're like, this would have to happen, but after that happens, this is going to have to happen.
Right.
And then even if that happens, they're going to have to do this. It's like that's what that
80%.
Seahawks Packers game was like.
Yep.
We got to get the onside kick, but even if you get the onside kick, you got to run down the field in X amount of seconds, but you're gonna have to get the ball back. And then
Yeah.
all that happened
Yep.
Same thing with that, where it's like, well, now, even though you guys are coming back, you're still down 9 with 52 seconds left.
Yeah, we would have
This
to
is,
miss one of these two free throws, and then you would have to make a crazy three, and then still this would have that. It was just, uh, it was just, and I don't like the Pacers. I give them credit.
yeah,
They're they they never stop moving,
no. And
and
they're fast.
it wears teams down. That's why like a guy who used to be on the Knicks, Obi Toppin, on their team, he works because he's a motor guy. He just runs and runs and runs, and you have to chase him. It makes you tired on defense, and it takes the legs out from you offense late in the games. It's like that's why you see some of these shots coming up short. It's
Yeah.
like, well, their legs are just they're just gone, you know?
Yeah. But it almost feels like they're darting towards the basket and then kicking out.
Yeah.
So it's like this constant like darting in, but kicking the ball out. So it's almost like they're trying to drive, but they're really not. They're kicking it out a lot, and then they're gonna take that three. And then like defense is just in circles. But then every once in a while they'll kick it out and then they'll try to transition out, and then a guy runs towards the hoop and he's just wide open underneath the
Yeah.
basket. So it's a very like complicated system uh to guard with fast guys that can do that into the fourth quarter.
Right. And I also think though that this is kind of like the next step for the Knicks is from the Detroit series and this series is the Knicks have the last few years have been able to kind of catch teams off guard and play better as the underdog.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, now you have to learn to win when you're expected to win.
Yeah.
And that's something that's a position they haven't been in 20 years.
Yeah. Probably more than that. Yeah.
Realistically, going back to the 90s, it's
Yeah.
like they've just never been expected to win.
Yeah. Game one, it just is a collapse. They lose a way they shouldn't lose. I felt like game two was they lost, like they just lost the game. Like, and if they would have just closed out game one, game two loss would have been like, yeah, it's a tough series.
Yeah, it was a close game.
Close game, battle back and forth. In the end, they just couldn't pull it off. But literally, the Pacers had a rebuttal for everything they did. It was like
Right.
anytime the Knicks scored, it wasn't like they had a chance. They didn't miss on the transition.
Right.
It was just they drove down, tied it again, drove down, got the lead back, and that's just kind of the way it played out.
It was interesting last night seeing guys that I'm like, who's that guy?
Yeah,
Playing? Like, and then what was it? Was it Kenny Smith who said Tibbs wouldn't play nine guys in a baseball game? I'm like, all right, that might be the best line Kenny
Yeah.
has ever said, but it's true. It's like nine guys in the playoffs, especially. It's like he hasn't gone more than 7-8 deep all year.
Yeah.
Seeing like Wright, I'm like, who's Wright? Like, I don't know this guy.
I think he's just trying to. Well, he was also buying time because he had foul trouble with
Right.
Brunson, foul trouble with McBride.
Which also, I never in any sport complain about officiating. But man, it seems like every 50-50 call, Pacers are getting every 50-50 call.
Yeah.
Anything that's iffy, and it's, that's, you got to take advantage of it, and they take advantage of it, which, you can't hate on them for that. It's just the officiating has kind of been tense, but yeah, they've missed calls that even in that game one that Knicks win that game.
Yeah.
And you see Halliburton carry the ball a lot too, like lot.
Even on the last shot of game one.
Game one, yeah, he got fouled, double dribbled. They found a way with multiple double dribbles.
He made a face like he lost the ball and he realized it. He's like, and gets the ball back and then takes a giant step back, hits the most obnoxious three or two.
Thank goodness it
hits a two.
Oh, I mean, I guess it didn't really matter at that
point. I really did think when he did the choke sign that was like the death nail. Like I thought the Knicks would just crush him in overtime because he, overdid it. But then it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So game one, they lose. Game two, I feel like they lost, but they probably would have lost. It was just a tight game and that they lost.
Yeah.
Last night, they were down 20.
That's the
So
thing. Is it's like
what do you take away from last night? Does that give you confidence going into game four?
no,
No.
like don't get behind 20. Like we've had 3 20-point comebacks, but yeah, I'm never going to be confident when my team is down 20, no matter what Desiree says. Yeah, it's that, and then the grenadine. Sorry, she's asking me how to make a tequila azalea.
How do you make a tequila azalea?
So it's tequila, lemonade. No, I'm not going to do it on here. And grenadine, like good grenadine, and top it with a little club soda.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's super refreshing. We made azaleas for the Masters, but we made them with vodka is the typical vodka or gin, but I like it better with tequila.
So now tomorrow night, game four, I do feel a little probably bad idea, but a little confident in their chances with how they finished last night. I think Hart, who's not really showed up this series, had some really like gritty rebounds that they needed.
Yeah.
Towns with 20 in the fourth. If he could just have a solid game. Brunson, it's like, who was I just talking to? I think someone today where it was like, even when he's able to do his thing, he's shut down, sort of like they shut him down. He'll still score 28, 35 points, but like his game is just kind of stifled.
Yeah, it's like they're willing to let him just get his and shut down wherever else. Like, so that's where there's really one guy you need to just be locked in, and that's OG, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
If offensively, if he has like even like an 18.7 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, you're winning the game.
Yeah.
And I think, and I hate saying it, but I'll say it. If they win tomorrow, they're winning the series.
It makes me nervous because I feel like it's going to go to 7 either. Like if they win tomorrow, it's going to 7, and they'll be in the running game 7.
To me, there is no chance they lose a game 7 in the Garden. Brunson will not let that happen, and it will build his New York legend.
Oh more. Yeah, he'll be Bernard King.
I said if he wins a title in New York, where do you put him? Like who would you compare him to that Knicks fan or that New York fans would look at and be like, I love Brunson and I love this guy the same.
I mean, I think even though he didn't win a title, I think people's love for John Starks is like high.
Oh,
it'll blow Starks out of the water. It'll blow. I mean, most of the '90s guys out. Maybe not Ewing, but like
it'll blow Ewing away.
So then it's Bernard King. It's like.
But I'm not even talking just basketball.
Oh, in New York, he'll be Jeter. He'll be Jeter.
Jeter is the level that I think it'd be like he's going to be right there with Jeter if he only wins one with New York.
Because the Yankees are perennial, like, well, they haven't won in a long time, but like they're storied.
They're in it every year.
It's so deep.
Yeah.
They're always in it. But the Knicks have won since 1976, 75?
73? 73 or 75, somewhere around there.
So it's been a long time. And that was like when Bernard King was
50, I think it's 73 because I think it's 52 years.
Yeah. So you're talking about that was like when Bernard King got hurt but came back out in the Garden.
That's why Joe Namath is still God in New York.
Because of that one Super Bowl and like
one game,
68 or whatever.
68, 69, yeah.
So if he comes back after a disappointing last year, but he got hurt, and then they have a good season, but then they're able to fight through adversity like that. He's got to win tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if OG has the game he hasn't had yet, and Towns just is status quo.
He's been good. Bridges has been great.
And
Mitchell Robinson's been amazing.
Mitch Robinson's been super consistent and good. And even did you see it? Did you hear it? Or they played like a little clip last night of him like getting the defense going, like yelling at the defense
Yeah,
and trying to organize. Like he's been the guy he hasn't wavered in this series at
yeah.
all.
Well, that's why like you watch when they were saying like he how many games he missed this year, and the defense it just didn't look like a Tibbs coach defense.
Yeah.
Hadn't been the same since he's been back. Like it looks more like last year's Knicks defense. It lets guys like Bridges and OG and Hart, who are good defenders, be able to do what they do because they can press more, knowing that they got Mitchell on the back end. But then sometimes he does get caught off out of position on pick and rolls. Like he rolls the wrong way
Yeah.
and leaves that spot up shooter wide open for a three. So it's like, you take the good and bad with him, but I mean, what did they say? Almost 40% of Knicks misses when he's on the floor, they get an offensive rebound. That's insane.
Yeah. How much is Mitch and Cat on the floor at the same time? It always feels like one or the other.
It's not a lot. It's been more in the playoffs and it's been super effective.
I feel like
Because
that
it's
would be effective because you've
yeah,
got a guy that can step out and guard, but then you always have someone that's going to get a board with
right. You're big.
just big
You're just
because
playing
Brunson's
big ball.
small. Hart, I don't know, man. Hart has really been disappointing, but
I don't think he's been disappointing. I think he's been. Uh, it's funny. Like I watch him, uh, and it's like sometimes I feel like offensively, he's very unsure of himself, so he doesn't necessarily know what he wants to do. But then it's like, who's the T.J. McConnell, the
yeah,
little guy on Pacers?
who had some really good like little short range jumpers all night last.
Let him shoot the three all day. Back off him and force him to shoot the three. That 12-foot jumper he's making every time, and you see a difference in the confidence in the way he pulls up for three, as
Yeah,
opposed to I know this is my shot. He
yeah,
doesn't like shooting the three. You can see he hesitates every time he pulls up for it.
yeah.
So I would rather let him. I'd live and die with him shooting the three. You know,
Mm.
roll off of him. Just leave him out there. Like don't let him get to that spot.
Yeah,
Brunson, you can't do that because Brunson can hit the three. Brunson can hit that mid range. Brunson can blow right by it.
yeah. And
Do
if you
everything.
commit to guarding his three, he's gonna drive in.
You're gone. He's
Um,
he's he's at the basket getting fouled, and you're in trouble.
yeah.
So
So game one, Hart, 44 minutes. We um 8 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. So he's doing a lot, but it's not offensively.
but he's not a scorer. He's not a 20-point guy.
Yeah.
He's your hustle guy. He's your
Game two, 6-6-1. So that's
yeah.
just underperforming completely.
And then last night he had like what 8? He had like 9 or 10 rebounds, and he didn't start.
He didn't start and he had 8, 10, and 4.
Yeah,
So 8, 10, and 4 off the bench.
right. But
He's not
Mitchell
gonna
started.
if he can get yeah, he only needs to get 8 to 10 points, but if he's got 10 rebounds and seven,
I
eight
would t- I would
assists,
take I would take what he did in game one
yeah.
every night. I mean, he's that hustle guy. He's not gonna shoot the lights out. Although apparently I think he's shooting like 40% from three, something like that.
Yeah. So OG has not had a game yet. They're all
Nope.
like 15 points, 5 rebounds. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's probably averaging like 15, 3, and 3
Yeah.
for the
He needs like a 22-8 and just lock down defense on.
yeah.
I don't even know who he's covering right now. Is he on Siakam or is he on Halliburton?
I think he's on Halliburton or Turner.
He's on Halliburton or Siakam.
Yeah.
I think he's on Siakam because I think Bridges is on Halliburton.
So I think that's what they thought game two was they got torched from 3 point, and then they almost thought what you were kind of saying about forget who, but like they just were like, don't give up the three or shut down the other guys. But then
Yeah.
Siakam just went off.
Yeah.
So last
Which
night
he
it
can
was kind
do,
of
but he's not going to do that every night. But
he didn't.
I'd rather live and die with that than letting, three of their three best 3-point shooters just jack up wide open threes. Like, just pick one guy that you're going to let get his and shut down the other three.
Yeah. So then how do they win tomorrow night?
OG has a good game, uh, and just limit the wide open threes. Because if you do that, they're not big enough to pound you inside. They're not going to get um, they're not going to beat you on the boards. They're just not going to beat you on the hustle plays. So they're just going to outrun you.
Yeah.
Or they're going to outshoot you. So let them try and outrun you. Don't let them outshoot you. Don't give up wide open threes. Like, commit to your defense. Figure out what that is. Whether it's you're willing to give up that McConnell 12-footer as opposed to letting him kick it out to your better 3-point shooters. I'm fine with that if that's the strategy you choose, but you can't give up open threes.
All right.
Because it's not the Celtics. They're not going to jack 63s and miss 40 of them.
Don't give up the open threes. Let them outrun you, but don't let them outshoot you.
Yeah.
I would say I agree with that. Don't you need OG to have a good game. Um, you need to not get behind because you
Yeah.
also can't just wear yourself out like that every night.
Right.
So just stay in it. Like they're gonna have a wave where they're just coming at you super hard.
Yeah,
Carlisle is a better coach. So he's gonna outcoach Tibbs.
I think he has more to work with because I think the Pacers are deeper, so he has more options. I don't think he's necessarily a better coach. I think they're pretty. They're similar level. They're just different styles of coaching. It's
I mean,
like
would you say
D'Antoni.
Carlisle's more success because he's won?
Does he have a title?
Yeah, he won with Dallas, didn't he?
Did he? I don't know if he was the coach with that.
I thought Rick Carlisle was the coach of the
He,
Dallas team that won.
he with Dirk, he might have been. Um, because I think he's up there in playoff wins. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad coach by any means, but I think he's just a different style of coach.
He, as a coach, he was a champion in 11 with the Mavericks.
With the Mavs. Okay.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done anything since. So,
Yeah.
not that Tibbs has done anything ever, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I think Tibbs outcoached who was it, Missoula? Was that the coach of the Celtics?
Yeah, the new guy.
Yeah.
They're not new now, maybe 1 or 2
Well,
years.
yeah, he has a title,
Yeah.
but
I'm so glad. I think Tatum, I'm so glad they lost, but I feel like Halliburton's just such okay. That was a question I had. I feel like the Pacers are really unlikable. They're just obnoxious. But would we say that about the Knicks if we weren't Knicks fans?
so no.
I don't think so, but I just to keep it honest, are we hating on the Pacers because we hate the Pacers?
I hate on the Pacers because I hate Reggie Miller.
That's fair.
And Halliburton is trying to be Reggie. So it's the same. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's the same thing about like why we didn't like Trae Young. Like,
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
obnoxious.
I liked Trae Young. I like Trae Young.
Well, I didn't. But
Yeah.
even if you look at the end of that game last night, and when the Knicks won, there was no gloating. There was no chest pumping.
They just like got off the floor.
They just walked off the floor. They're like, it's business. Like, they're not that type of team that's gonna throw it in your face. They're like, and they know they read the room. They know, like, we're down still. Like, we have nothing to be happy about. Like, we didn't protect our own home court. Like,
Yeah.
so, and I actually think that because of like the college connection between these guys, that in general, whereas like people used to kind of hate the Knicks because people kind of hated Carmelo Anthony and they hated Latrell Sprewell and all that stuff. As a whole, I think NBA fans in general actually find this team very likable.
I would say so. Yeah.
They're a group of guys that work hard that people slept on that are now like finding success. So
I don't think people slept on them. They didn't prove themselves in any way. Like they made the playoffs. I do think I'm actually happy for Randall to be doing well in Minnesota, but Randall was not a good fit.
I'm saying you look at Brunson, he was a backup to Luka. Fine, whatever. You expect that. Josh Hart, this is what his fourth or fifth team. Cool. You know, Mikal Bridges traded to two different teams. It's like these are guys that people have casted off, kind of just like they're not giving us what we need. Like let's just try and benefit from what we can get for them and build moving forward. But Brunson especially, like, I mean, when that dude got signed to the Knicks, that signing got torn to shreds by Stephen A. Smith, all those guys. Oh, you're gonna build a championship team with Jalen Brunson. That's where you're throwing your eggs in the basket. And now he's all NBA. He might have been all NBA first team. Like
yeah,
I think he might have been all NBA second. But it's like the dude's gonna be like an MVP candidate. Like, he's just clutch. The kid signed a contract early, sacrificing probably $120 million to be able to give the team flexibility to be able to add pieces so that they can win a ring. It's like that right there. It just builds his whole story, and them coming from the same college like Bridges, Hart, and Brunson. I think Brunson might have been the only one that was there for both titles in Villanova. I don't know if Hart and Bridges were both there for both of them. But man, it's a cool story, and the NBA loves it. Like fans just like it.
Do you think was there a scenario where Knicks get? I'm trying really hard not to say where the Knicks get Cat and don't have to give up Devo?
If that could have happened,
they tried it
didn't, I'd be very upset to know that.
Yeah,
because even watching that commercial,
yeah, that was
where they throw him the hat. It's like, that's just like I love Devo.
Yeah,
I absolutely love him, but I don't think that Minnesota would have done it without him.
Yeah,
because he's a glue piece, and he's just a fire off the bench. But it's like, who else? If the Knicks could have given up McBride, yeah, I mean maybe, but I don't think.
Clearly,
they were taking that.
Yeah, clearly it was a good trade when both teams make that big of a trade and end up in the Eastern and Western Conference final.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. All right. Well, I think we've got what we need. We'll have our first Knicks chat. If I don't know if we should do it either way. If they win tomorrow, we'll jump back on and do. If you have time, we'll do like another 20-minute.
Yeah, win or lose, we should do it.
All right. All right, later, bro. So, real quick, go Knicks. See what happens tomorrow.
Hey,
we did our best.
I mean, I've done all I can do for them.
We've done all we can.
All right, buddies.
Later, bro.
Later.